Yankee fans, baseball is back in the Bronx, and your favorite pinstripe heroes are walk-off winners on opening day. The bringer of rain indeed. Josh Donaldson, the newcomer for the Yankees, with his 12th career walk-off hit in extras against the team's longtime rival, the Boston Red Sox. Here's my recap from Yankees opening day. The Pinstripers rallied to win the opener despite falling behind 3-0 in the first inning. They did not lead until their big off-season addition, former AL MVP Josh Donaldson, provided the walk-off single in the 11th inning, a special debut for the former MVP, our Bronx Player of the Week. The walk-off is the first for the Bronx Bombers on opening day in more than 60 years. On a side note, the historic 120th opening day for the team featured a special pregame ceremony for the Ukraine that included the singing of the country's national anthem. A packed house, a walk-off win, and plenty of traditions, both old and new, right here on display in the BX. Also, fans received a commemorative ticket to remember the game. Here's mine. Check it out. The Yanks took 2 of 3 from their rivals Boston last weekend, leading into the Toronto series at home this week at Yankee Stadium. The Mets, meanwhile, took 3 of 4 from their divisional rivals, the Nationals, in Washington, our nation's capital, last weekend, starting the season 3-1 under new manager and former Yankee skipper Buck Showalter. The Amazons won the first 3 games of the series before dropping Sunday's matchup. The Yanks and Mets headline here in baseball's opening week, taking the 5th and 4th spots respectively on the front end of 5 on 5, our weekly sports roundup. 5 stories and recap, and 5 to watch out for from around the world of sports in the days ahead. And at number 3, keeping up with the baseball trend, more memorable headlines right here in New York. Yankees minor league manager Rachel Balkovec made history the instant that she took the field last Friday. Then she decided to enter the record books. Balkovec won her managerial debut for the Tampa Tarpons, a minor league affiliate of the Yankees, on the same day as the team's opening day win right here in the Bronx. That's a future on this date in Bronx sports history, don't you think? In doing so, Balkovec became both the first woman to manage a game and win a game with a team affiliated with Major League Baseball. History indeed.
Feeling really grateful that I'm in this organization in particular. I'm grateful that I have the support of the players, that I have their respect, and I'm excited just like anyone else is on opening day, just that kind of that excitement that you get the first game. Everyone's all smiles. So every opening day is special. This one is definitely a little different, but it kind of feels the same. And as soon as I leave this room, it's going to be, crank up the music and get our practice going.
A turtle update takes the 2 spot. You heard me right. Bronxy the Turtle, the Yanks' famous pet, has found a new home. Our friend Brendan Cuddy of NJ.com reports that New Settlement, a nonprofit organization that aims to break systemic barriers, advance justice, promote leadership, and strengthen neighborhoods right here in the Bronx, is opening its community center doors, and now the new home to Bronxy the Turtle. Bronxy, a male red-eared slider turtle, was adopted by Yanks pitcher Nestor Cortez in late September of last year. Shortly after adopting Bronxy, the Yanks went on a 7-game winning streak, earning the turtle the title as the team's lucky clubhouse pet. We mentioned him last week on the show. In at number 1, former Hoops in the Sun star, New York City native Obi Toppin has been red hot for the Knicks of late. They might be missing the playoffs, but this opportunity for significant playing time for Obi could be exactly what the orange and blue need for the future. He's certainly on the rise.
I feel like I'm just going out there playing. I have great teammates who's finding me on lobs and who is finding me in different situations, but all credit goes to them. We push each other every day to get better. So they helped me throughout this whole season get better as the season went on. As soon as I catch the ball, if I'm open, I'm gonna shoot it. So I feel like, and that's what tips tell us too. If we're open, shoot the ball. And I'm not thinking I'm coming out. I'm just playing basketball. So.
To the back end of 5 on 5 we go. The Brooklyn Nets had the play-in game on Tuesday night. The NBA playoffs opened up. The NBA postseason takes the top spot here on the back end of 5 on 5. The Nets clinched the 7th seed at the end of the regular season. We go back inside the locker room for more.
We're just a dangerous team when we're playing with that type of pace on the offensive end, and then we're getting stops. But as you see, there's still some up and downs within the flow of the 48 minutes that we just have to clean up and fix. And I think once we settle into the attention to details and we're able to think the game on a higher level, and we're forced to think the game on a higher level because, it's the playoffs. So every possession is going to matter. The crowd's going to be into it. So we just want some carryover as we get better game to game. For us, we know that we could come up with every excuse in the world of what happened this season. So many different things transpired, ups and downs, and now we're finally here and we're able to perform with one another for the first time in a high-intense environment such as the playoffs. It's a great challenge, and I'm looking forward to it, and I know our guys are too.
I've learned over my course of my career what works the best is just to play free mentally, not think too much about the results of the game, obviously the game plan and all that stuff, you focus on that. But the regular season has gotten us prepared, for this time. So it's about just resting on what we learned throughout the year, resting on who you are as a player and just playing free mentally. And I think that's what all the best teams do around this time is, lean on what you've been working on all season. So we're looking forward to this opportunity, and it was the first step into us getting in the playoffs, so we got to take care of business.
After wrapping the home series with the Jays yesterday, the Pinstripers are in Baltimore tonight to open a road weekend series with the O's. Yanks in at number 2. The Mets in here at number 3. The Amazons welcome Arizona this weekend to Citi Field in Flushing. Home opener is today. The Mets homestand continues after this weekend series with the Diamondbacks, with the San Francisco Giants coming to Queens to start the week. On the ice, the Broadway Blue Shirts welcome Detroit Saturday. Puck drop is 12:30 in the afternoon for the Rangers, who have clinched a playoff spot. With the Rangers nabbing the 4th spot here on the back end of 5-on-5, we'll cap our 5-on-5 with a look ahead for us on the show. We welcome the new voice of the Hudson Valley Renegades, Emmanuel Barbari, to the show on Monday. You won't want to miss that. To the C-list for a Bronx and New York take on this date in sports history. On this date in 1997, Major League Baseball retired number 42 across the game in honor of the late, great Jackie Robinson. Robinson, of course, is an American hero. He broke baseball's color barrier on this day in 1947. On April 15, 1997, Commissioner Bud Selig announced that MLB would retire his Brooklyn Dodgers uniform number on the 50th anniversary of Robinson's historic debut with the Dodgers, then here in New York. Players who were currently wearing the number were allowed to continue to do so until they retired, the last of which was the legendary Mariano Rivera, the first perfect Hall of Famer. Coincidentally, the Yankee great was the perfect person to seal the history of 42. The Mets put the finishing touches on an historic day back in 1997 with a 5-0 victory over the Dodgers. Ever since, we celebrate Jackie Robinson on this day every year when all major leaguers get to wear number 42, including players like former Yankee and current Met Robinson Cano, who idolizes Jackie on Jackie Robinson Day. That's on this date, and that's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C. Stay tuned. More Open back after this.